Hello everybody, how are you? Welcome to the 23rd episode of the 3 a.m. Knitter podcast. I am so happy that you are here. So, if this is your first time here, welcome. If you are a returning viewer, thank you so much for coming back. I appreciate you. And I just want to start off this episode by saying I had every intention of doing this episode live on Christmas Eve Day, and I in fact did start my live broadcast, and about 30 minutes in, everything fell apart. I had no audio, people watching along couldn't hear me, there was a loud ticking noise in the audio, and so that was a colossal flop. So I am here today to record and get episode 23 out to you. So thank you for tuning in. All right, as per usual, we've got some housekeeping. You can find me on Instagram as 3am Knitter. I have an email address, 3amknitter@gmail.com. My snail mail address is down below in the show notes. I also have a Ravelry group. If you are somebody who uses Ravelry and you just search on 3am Knitter and you'll find me there, please feel free to join. And also, if you don't already know, I have a monthly newsletter that goes out on the first of the month and includes all information about upcoming podcast episodes and about knit-alongs, about our virtual knit night that happens once a month, and a whole bunch of other things that I just want you to know about. So if you'd like to subscribe to that, there is a link down below, and I will be popping into your inbox on the first of every month. And on the very rare occasion, there'll be an additional email or two. If something of great importance comes up during the month, I will send off a quick note to you. Otherwise, you'll see me on the first in that newsletter. Another very important thing to remind you of, if you haven't seen it on my Instagram feed, one of our wonderful Nova Scotia yarn shops called Antigo Knits, which is located in Antigonish, Nova Scotia, has offered subscribers to the 3am Knitter podcast a 20% off discount code until the end of the year. So if you pop on over to antigonits.com, that's ANTIGONKNITS.com, and do some shopping there, you can use the discount code 3am Knitter. So that's the number 3am Knitter, and you will get 20% off your order. So thank you to Antigonits for giving us the generous coupon code or discount code. So take advantage of that before December 31st if you want to get some shopping done. And if you have any questions about it, just drop me a note and let me know. Okay, workshops. So January 20th from 10 a.m. until 1 p.m. Atlantic time is our virtual weaving workshop, the Amulet workshop. There is a link to the sign up form down below. It's a Google form that you just have to fill out, and there's instructions all within that, how to get your payment in. So I just kind of wanted to give you an idea. There is a kit, a supplies kit that comes along with the workshop. So the sooner that you get yourself registered, the better, because I do need to get these supplies kits into the mail starting at the very beginning of January to make sure that you all have them on time. So this is the loom that's going to be sent out. It'll come unassembled, and it just takes a few butterfly screws to put it together. It comes with a shuttle that you can choose to use or not. I'll show you another method of getting your yarn ready for weaving without a shuttle. And it comes with this packing comb. So this is to pack down your weaving as you go along. Do you need this? Not necessarily. I use my fingers sometimes, but this is a handy tool to have. The kit also comes with some yarn to get yourself warped up, which is something we'll be going over in the workshop, and yarn for the weaving itself. Now, you might choose to add your own yarn in, that's okay, but the kit does come with some to do that, and it comes with a little pouch with some embellishments like buttons and things like that that you can use on your amulet. So part of the workshop is also about setting intention for the work that you're going to do, because the idea of the amulet is that you weave it with an intention built in, so that once you've completed the work and you're carrying your amulet with you, you've got that intention built right into it. So we'll be talking a little bit about that during the workshop as well. So if you are interested, please get yourself registered right away, because I do want to start shipping these supplies kits out at the beginning of January, which is next week. Ooh, that's awful. It's awful to think about that. So that is that. Also, the next virtual knit night, sorry, I'm just looking for a place to put this down. There we go. Next virtual knit night in the 3 a.m. Knitter Zoom room is on January the 17th, which is Wednesday, January the 17th, from 7:30 p.m. until 9 p.m. Atlantic time. For my friends in the Eastern time zone, that is 6:30 to 8. And I'm sorry, but I don't know any of the other time zones. So yeah, there's lots of things, lots of those kind of time converters online that you can check out. But in the meantime, we're 7:30 until 9 Atlantic on Wednesday, the 17th. Okay, so let's get into some knitting, right? Yeah. We'll start with what I'm wearing. Now, you guys have all seen this before. This is, I'll just stand up so you can see the bottom. This is the Mount Lorne pullover. This was one of those projects that you guys encouraged me to pull out of Whip Mountain, probably closer to the beginning of the year, so I could get it finished, because there really wasn't a whole lot that had to be done on it. But again, this is the Mount Lorne pullover by Andrea Cull. It is a paid-for pattern. Let's see, worsted weight, 3.5, 3.75, and 4 millimeter needles, or 4, 5, and 6 US. What else can I tell you about it? Unisex circular yoke. It's a bottom-up construction. It was published in, bear with me now, 2017, November 2017. So it's an older pattern. 112 projects completed on Ravelry. And I used, so the black in this yarn, the black in this sweater is Cascade 220 Superwash Merino. That is also the cream color of this part of the yoke motif here, Cascade 220 Superwash. And then the gold or the yellow is Diamond Luxury Collection Pure Wool Superwash. So I bought all of the yarn at Galt House of Yarns in Cambridge, Ontario, which used to be one of my LYSs when I lived in Ontario. So I knit this up according to pattern. I really love this open neck. Just my preference, right? The sleeves I knit to, I think it's called bracelet length, but truth be told, if I was to knit this again, I would make the sleeves longer. But it's a cozy sweater. The yarn wears well. It feels great. Can't go wrong with Cascade 220 for sure. And will I knit the pattern again? Yeah, probably I will. You know, maybe use different colors. I don't have any more Cascade 220 in my stash, but I'm sure I could find something else in this stash to make up another sweater quantity. So overall, it was a great knit. I'm happy that you guys convinced me to get it out of Whip Mountain because I do wear it often. So yeah, great knit for that. I have a note here to talk to you about what I was wearing. So back on Christmas Eve, when I went out for my walk, I was wearing this. This is a kind of it's a cowl, it's a dickie, it's a shawl, it's all of those things. So this is just a project that I knit up for myself quite a while ago. I'll find the details on my Ravelry page in just a moment. But it's really a great project for cold days because once you put it on, I mean, you can get the idea here. It lays flat, so when you're wearing it under a coat, it's perfect. Keeps you warm, keeps your chest warm, keeps your neck warm. Great project and super, super simple, right? You can see it's just ribbing. So little more mega neck warmer. That's what I titled it in Ravelry. And of course I don't have full notes here. However, this yarn is Bernat Mosaic and it's in the Optimistic colorway. Oh, how lovely. Optimistic colorway. I don't have a pattern linked because I don't have a reason why. Because my notes say Christmas knitting has commenced, an easy pattern for sure, but I don't have the pattern linked. Anyway, if I look at the knitting, so we've got the neck, 1x1 rib. Whoops, and then it looks like I increased. And then this section here on larger needles is 1x1 rib. And then there was an increase again, and this is, the bottom is 3x3 rib. So not a difficult pattern. Don't know that you'd even actually need a pattern for that. You could probably figure it out. And a great use of, you know, a ball of yarn that you have in your stash, right? Great gift knitting too for somebody who is outdoors. So that's what I was wearing. The yarn I bought in September 2015. So the knitting took me from October the 3rd, 2015 to October 12th. So a super duper quick knit, right? If you're looking for something for somebody or for yourself. So that is what I was wearing the other day. All right, finished objects. So you guys saw this before, the last episode. I was knitting on a super duper simple, just a little hat. And you can see this is nice and fuzzy. So this is, yeah, there we go. So this is a free pattern on Ravelry. It's called The Warm Cap by Elizabeth Schatz. Lace weight 2.25 millimeter needles or US size 1. It's a free pattern, as I said. So I knit this from Botanical Fibres Feather, and I have, sorry, there's beautiful light coming in. That is a pretty true representation. You can see these dark spots here. So I got this from Botanical Fibres. I think I bought it at Woolstock East when she was vending there. But you see the color just kind of, it's got these interesting pops of, you know, like an indigo blue in there. this is a super duper light hat. The pattern comes in 2 sizes. This is the larger size, and it is very loose fitting on my head. Now, I enjoy that, but truth be told, here in Nova Scotia, it gets pretty windy where I live, and I was out doing some last minute grocery shopping before the Christmas Eve rush, and I had this hat on, and there was a couple times where it almost blew off my head. So, so good for non-windy days, but I think that when I knit this pattern again, I will do the smaller size just to make sure that it stays on my head. And I have enough left over. I used about half of the yarn, and do I have it up here? Yeah, so 300 meters. So I used about 150 meters, about 25 grams. So I'm going to use the leftover to make a cowl or something like that that will match. So I'm super happy with that project, and certainly will knit the pattern again. On Ravelry, it's a free pattern called the Warm Cap. Tendency to stretch out, etc., etc. So depending on the yarn that you use, the samples were knit in possum, cashmere, goat, and silk. Ooh, I bet you that's soft. So yeah, finished object. Now that's the only finished object that I have this time around because I was working on other things. I brought myself back to the Diaphonus Raglan that I talked to you about before. So I kind of put this on hold because, as you may remember, I'm working on that test knit, the Texo sweater, that all over cable sweater. I can't show you it today because we aren't supposed to show the whole sweater. I'm not finished it yet, but I'm finished enough that I can't show it to you. So stay tuned for that. I think that the plan is for the designer to have that sweater out mid to end of January. Don't quote me on that, but that's what I believe. Yeah, so there will be pictures and sharing forthcoming. So in the meantime, I've also picked back up the Diaphonus Raglan. So I'm holding it in one of my favorite BeeByDesigns project bags. My friend Bridget from Ontario is the maker. Beautiful bags. I have many of them, as you know. So the Diaphonus Raglan, Jasmine from my LYS made this, and as soon as I saw it, I fell in love with it, and I had to make it in exactly the same color that she made it in. So this is a Jessie Maid's design. Kind of a croppy top, which I think I'll make just a wee bit longer when all is said and done. So the Diaphonus Raglan paid for pattern, $12 US or $60.62 Canadian. Now I know that sounds like a lot, but when you see this pattern, it has so many different options in it for different sleeves and things like that. It's well worth the money. So as I said, Jessie Maid Designs. It was published in 2019. DK weight sweater, fingering and lace weights, except for the sleeves, because the sleeves are only in the lace weight. 3.5, 4.5, 5.5 millimeter needles, or US 4, 7, and 9. And the yardages range from 640 meters to 2174 meters, or 700 yards to 2378 yards. There are a good range of sizes. So it goes from extra small all the way up to 5XL. So it's not a bad pattern for size inclusivity. Let's see. Yeah, so there are on the Ravelry page too, one thing that I super appreciate is she has this list right here, and it is a yarn suggestion list ranging from really cheap So $1 sign all the way up to more expensive to the $4 signs. So, you know, she offers suggestions in everybody's budget. So I got a little bit of work done on this. This is the sleeve, or the start of the sleeve. So each of these outside are fingering and the mohair held together. And then of course this center section, which is the sleeve, is just the mohair. Sorry, I've got some light. That's a pretty good representation of the colors. So eventually what's going to happen is this, right? So this is the start of one sleeve. I now have to cast on for the second part of the sleeve. And I am using, bear with me just one sec, my LYS Natural Ewe Yarns. I am using their Gots to Have It, or Global Organic Textile Standard Merino, in the Cosmo colorway. There you go. This is 115 grams or 420 yards. And then I'm pairing that with the Halo, which is a 72% Super Kid mohair and a 28% Mulberry silk, 50 grams, 420 meters. So I am loving the way that this is knitting up. There's a lot of light coming in that window, sorry. I mean, you can see the halo on that. It's going to be beautiful. So I've enjoyed picking that back up again. And then I talked to you about the Texo sweaters, so I'll be able to show you some more on that at the next episode. But then the other things that I'm working on is, you might recall from, I think it was the last episode, I talked about, or maybe it was the episode before, the fact that the cross-stitch bug has bit me again. And so this year, I am participating in two, yes, I said two, stitch-alongs. So the first one, I showed you this before. So this is a free stitch-along. So this is the outline, the wavy outline it's called. And then each week for the entire year, or for 49 of the weeks, the designer will release a pattern for one square. And then you just each week stitch one of the squares inside, so that then by the end of the year, you have an entire project finished. So this is being hosted over on Facebook. I will link to the Facebook group below. As I said, it's free. You can stitch along, and it's really a neat idea. It's taken me a little while, and to get the outlining done. You certainly don't have to have the outlining done before the weeks start releasing, but I just wanted to jump right in. So this project kind of led me to another stitch along that I found on Facebook, sorry. And so same sort of concept. I have this one here. So actually, I think the light might help here. So this, whew, if you can see that, sorry, the light's not super good today. So all of these boxes in the center here are the weekly boxes. So there'll be a pattern each week released that will fit into one of those boxes. And then along the outside, this is the winter corner, this is the spring corner, and then of course there'll be a summer and an autumn corner down at the bottom. So let me just see if I can. So you see you've got little trees, it says winter there. So again, this is free. Now, in this stitch along, the borders that are being set up She has 2 free ones, and then she has a number of paid for borders. I selected a paid for border. This one cost about, I think it was about $12. So there's lots of different choices that you can make, relatively cheap. I'm using fabric. Both of these projects are, I think, 18 count Adas, and I'm just using DMC floss that I have already. But again, this will, be a little small project each week. And then by the end of the year, I'll have 2 cross stitches to either gift or to keep for myself. So because those are small projects, of course, I wanted to jump right in to starting a big project. So I went into my folder that houses all of my cross stitch patterns that I have purchased but not yet started, and I have chosen a large project that I will be working on this year. So keeping in the theme of the 4 seasons, I will be starting this project here. So that is obviously a tree that kind of shows the 4 seasons in it. This is a full coverage piece, so all of the stuff you see in the background will be stitched as well. This is called Tree of 4 Seasons. It's designed by Josephine Wall. Let's see. Once it is completed, the design will be 21 inches wide by 28¼ inches high, and it uses 190 different colors. So this is something that I'll leave set up here in my craft room, and I will work on throughout the entire year. Will I get it finished in 2024? I don't know, but it certainly is going to be a great challenge, and I'm really looking forward to working on that. So that is what I've been working on. Let's see. Okay, so as you will recall, I have been anxiously awaiting for the Christmas Eve cast on, and I chose to cast on the Kuran Poncho by Amy Palco. And I'm just going to get you some information on that. There we go. If you haven't seen Amy's poncho, there it is, being modeled by the lovely Amy. So this is a DK weight poncho. It has some great short row shaping in the back there, which is what I fell in love with. I decided that I was going to knit mine up in Frankie Gray Fibres DK in the Sand Dollar colorway. And then I had these 2 yarns in my stash. So the orange is Lichen and Lace. I don't know what the colorway name is. I lost the label. And this is a no-name lace weight sparkle kind of all over color. So curry in. The phrase to curry in is a Scots phrase which refers to the act of snuggling up, getting cozy, and enjoying the gifts of a well-tended hearth, especially so when the weather gets cold and dark and stormy. We curry in together to read our stories, watch our shows, and yes, of course, to knit. So I anxiously casted this on. I was so excited to get it casted on. Where am I here? So I casted it on with the Lichen and Lace orange and this lace weight multicolor kind of sparkle. So I cast it on the edge and did my ribbing for 1 round. Then I continued with the neck ribbing in the Frankie Gray Fibres DK. And now I'm working on the body. This is as far as I've gotten so far. So what I did is when I read the pattern, read the number of rows that were required in the body part, and I just did some knitting math. And so each one of these orange stripes is going to get wider as the poncho gets longer. And then I will rib in the sand dollar DK and finish off the edging with the colored yarn. So far I am loving it. Raglan construction. Yeah, it is, I'm really, really enjoying it. Just don't know if I can get this close enough so you can catch the sparkle. No, but it is a great knit so far. I'm truly enjoying it. So that is the Kuran Poncho by the lovely Amy Palco. Okay, let me just put my pattern back in my project bag there so I don't lose track. All right, upcoming knits. Oops, sorry, I just dropped my notes. So I made a little trip to my LYS, Natural Ewe Yarns, 4 doors down the road, and I picked up some Estelle Eco Scandinavian Bulky. This is the apple colorway, FYI. So I picked up the apple, and I picked up some kind of chocolatey brown and some ivory. So there's my 3 colors. And from those 3 colors, Andrea, one of the owners of Natural Ewe, had a beautiful sweater knit out of the bulky, and it's called the Tran sweater. So, that's not, I get to a lighter one so you can see it a bit better. So you can see that the top is, I was going to say ribbing, garter stitch, and then the bottom portion is stockinette. So this is done on gigantic needles, of course, and it's going to be one of those pieces that, you know, I can wear all summer, or pardon me, all late autumn and into the winter. There's a better picture of it. So you can see I will likely make the arms a little bit longer. Just trying to get that glare off. Wonder if, there. I'll make the arms a little bit longer, and I may yarn allowance allowing, may make it just a tad longer in the body. I haven't decided yet. But that's called the Tran sweater by Tara Lynn Morrison, published in March of 2018. 9, 15, and 12 millimeter needles, or US 13, 19, and 17. Yardage is 350 to 370 meters, or 383 to 405 yards. 182 projects on Ravelry. The Good Night Day sweater patterns are written to be easily approachable by everyone at any knitting level. You just knit, purl, circular knitting, increasing, decreasing, picking up stitches. The gauge is 3.5 stitches to 5 centimeters and 5 rows to 5 centimeters on 15 millimeter circulars. Double extra small to triple extra large. I'm not too concerned about the sizing personally, because I'm just going to make the largest size that there is. It's a $6.50 US pattern, or $9 Canadian, or you can purchase an ebook that has 17 patterns in it for $27 US. A lot of bulky sweaters in here. cardigans, a vest, hats, accessories, etc. So take a look at that. I'll link it down below in the show notes. But I'm looking forward to knitting that up for sure. And it'll knit up super fast. I mean, right? Oh, it's just, And Estelle yarn, you can't go wrong. So the other thing that I purchased was some new to me sock yarn. And truth be told, I purchased this only because it was cheap. It was $12 a ball. This is a German yarn called Flotte sock. So I bought two colorways. The purpley one here in my right hand is, it says color 1686. I don't like it when they do that. Anyway, 1686, and then we've got this blue gray kind of one. Let's see. 75% superwash and 25% polyamide, 420 meters or 460 yards. So I'm gonna knit up some vanilla socks because of course with these colors here, it'll stripe, and I'll let you know what I think. But I am planning on I know I planned this for 2023 and I didn't quite succeed, but I'm gonna jump back in and try for 2024 to make 12 pairs of socks, a pair of socks each month as my mom's, a gift for my mom. So stay tuned for that. Looking forward to checking that out. Okay, what else do I have for you today? I think I have covered everything. I think so. Okay, so let's get into the Knitter's Oracle for today. Just doing a quick search around here to see if I've forgotten anything, but I don't think I have. All right. So today's card is the lace. A challenge, an obstacle or delay, struggle, problems, something in the way to be overcome. The lace. I love knitting lace. I do. I think knitting lace is so exciting because a challenge, yeah. It's exciting because as you're knitting it, it doesn't look beautiful. It's all kind of squished up, and you hope that you got all the stitches right, and you fight with yourself about putting a lifeline in. But boy, oh boy, once you finish knitting it and you wash it and block it and it opens up into its beauty, you just, I don't know about you, but I just marvel at it every single time. How did this yucky looking squished up piece of string become this beautiful piece of art? I love lace work. It is a challenge. Obstacle or delay, struggle, problems, something in the way to be overcome. So for me, you know, the struggle and problems are ones I bring on myself, because I'm going to tell you this right up front. I never put a lifeline in. I know I should, but I never do, because I think, oh, I'm going to be able to knit this perfectly. It never happens that way. I always have to rip back. And if you've knit lace before, you know that that is a problem, right? So, yeah. Have you done lace work before? What do you think about it? Do you enjoy it? Do you hate it? Do you wish, have you knit something and now you know you never will knit lace again? Tell me about your lace projects. I want to know. Interesting. Okay, so the next episode of the podcast is coming to you on January the 7th. Watch out for the January the 1st newsletter. If you haven't signed up for the newsletter, you can do it down below. And please, for those of you wanting to get registered for the Amulet weaving workshop that's taking place on the 20th, please follow the Google link. All the instructions are written in there. You can send me your information. There's payment information in there because I do want to get these kits out in the mail next week. So that is all for now. I hope that you are having a beautiful Christmas. If you are celebrating Christmas, maybe you're just having a couple of days off. I hope you're enjoying that too. Be kind to one another and happy knitting. Bye for now.